Episode 8. Here we go. Goldbrick Champion. I'm stoked on this one. This one's really exciting. It's, I think, going to kind of be a follow-up to You, Me, and World War III sonically. So I'm really excited to hear what everybody did with it. I know when I last heard it, I thought it was awesome. We just premiered our brand new little video there. It's artwork by Anthony Jackson. And I also want to let you know that there's a link in our bio where you can get 4 of our Alone Together songs. They're completely unreleased right now. This is going to be the only place that you can get them. So check that out in the link in the description for this video. Totally free. Look for that. And we're going to go ahead and bring in the boys and chat it up. Welcome, boys.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you.
Hello.
So, as you can see, there's a little counter down in that corner. In 3 minutes, we're going to be playing our brand new song, Goldbrick Champion. But first, we like to always kick it off with a little question. So my question this week is a song that you didn't like at first, but now you love or at least like a lot. And think about it. I'll answer first because I'm the one asking the questions. For me, my classic version of this, my specific, what I always think of is You and Me by Lifehouse. The first time I heard that song, I thought this is hot garbage. And to be fair, now I probably think it's hot garbage. But I remember hearing it, hating it. 5 years later being like, I love this song. This song's great. So that's mine. Who's got the next one?
All comes full circle.
Fizbiz, what you got?
I've got one.
Oh, Ty's got one. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys know at least. Dillinger Escape Plan is one of my, arguably my, I don't know, second favorite band of all time, probably.
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. They have a song called "Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants," which is fairly early in their career, and it's it sounded like the least like them when I was getting into them, and I was like, this is garbage. This is a pop rock song, and I don't care that the chorus has a weird tritone filled kind of thing. This song is garbage. And then a week later, I loved it. It's been the same ever since.
Dillinger Escape Plan. Let us know in the comments if you know Dillinger Escape Plan. That is a great band, though. One of Ty's favorites. Benji, who you got? What song you got?
I'm really trying hard to think. I just like every single song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that.
I'm more in the. I'm gonna say I've not necessarily the same, but not really a song per se. But I've really kind of grown in my appreciation for anything in the realm of pop production, anything in the realm of. I don't know. Yeah, anything that's generally would be considered electronic or whatever. Originally, when I first kind of was listening to it, I was like, I don't really care about this. I just didn't get it. And then now that's basically all I listen to. So that's my standby answer.
Okay. So just more the style than a specific song. Okay, we're going to cut over to Nate because we got to get going. We got 1 minute.
Okay. I really, when the song "Give Yourself a Try" by the 1975 came out, when they released that as the lead single off of their last second to anyway.
Yeah.
When they released that song, right. I listened to it. I was so stoked about it, and I was like, "What is this awful garbage? I don't get it." But now I totally get it, and I totally love that song.
I had that with Ugg for the album before. Was the same thing for me. I was like, no, and now I love it.
Interesting.
Phil, what you got?
That was immediately just a wrong
I'll say
answer.
2 things. I'll say 1, Give Yourself a Try is a sample of the other most famous rock band from Manchester, which is Closer by Joy Division. And I will also say that Stairway to Heaven I thought was the worst song in the entire world.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. All right, brand new song in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Every happy family is alike. We keep our demons in the basement. real nice. Always get the lock replaced when things get a little bit out of hand. If you're overwhelmed, I would understand. I would understand. I'm the Goldbrick Champion, Mid-Atlantic #1. I'm the Goldbrick Champion, oh, I'm #1. Where is all of this therapy heading? Do we get to stop after the wedding? What do you want me to say? Can we afford this okay? One thing at a time. I can only handle one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I'm the Goldbrick Champion, Mid-Atlantic #1. I'm the Goldbrick Champion, oh, I'm #1. I'm the featherweight champion, Mid-Atlantic #1. One thing at a time. I can only handle one thing at a time. Please be kind. One hand up if you're overwhelmed. Two hands up if you're overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed. One hand up if you're overwhelmed. Two hands up if you're overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed. I'm the Goldbrick Champion, Mid-Atlantic #1. One thing at a time. I can only handle. I'm the Goldbrick Champion. I'm
Oh, we're back. Woo! That's awesome. Okay, Phil pointed out to me, and I think it's fair, that this is a little bit more of a like 80s joywave-ish than pop punk.
That's the wrong
I'm-
band. Joy Division.
Joy Division.
Awkward.
I know everything about music. I'm the music aficionado of this group, if you can't tell. Thanks, everybody, for
Can't get
the
enough of
love.
this.
Let us know what you think of the brand new song in the comments. I'm really stoked on it. That's really exciting. And shout out to Lizzie, who got the Anna Karenina reference, which Phil informed me of. I have
There
never
you
read
go.
Anna Karenina. So
Gotta slip in that Russian lit, baby.
Go for it.
it's true. You must. We must. So if you like that song, be sure to check out the link in the description. We have 4 that you can get for free right now that you can't get anywhere else, unreleased. Some of our favorite songs right now. And we're going to go into part 2 of this. Sorry, part 3. Part 2 was the song. Part 3, we talk about the process. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Felipe, and I'm going to play what he did, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his parts for this song. All right.
Nice. I think we're on. My screen is frozen, but I love to talk, even if I can't see myself. So this song is in a fun tempo. It's in like 170 BPM. And what is kind of unique about that is it could be a really fast song, or you could take it halftime and it could end up a really like slow song, actually like venturing into the world of hip hop. So this is something that I think War on Drugs has recently like brought back around, but like you guys mentioned, like Joy Division, The Cure. These are all bands that mastered this style in the 80s, and it's really prime for a good like synth hook that can play really nicely with a chorus, like a big anthemic chorus. And I'll talk about the lyrics in a little bit, but that was kind of musically where my head was at, doing something that could kind of go in between that fast and slow rhythm. Like you could kind of be listening to this while you're like falling asleep, but also while you're on a run. You know, it's got that really interesting in between tempo.
Awesome. Yeah, and lyrically, we'll talk about what Phil's inspiration for the song and a little bit of that at the back end of this, and then we'll play the song for you one more time. So right now we're just talking the process, and you can hear the parts that he sent me. So that's all the stuff that he sent me, and he said that this song could be a little sleepy. So if you're listening right now, you can tell this is like a little bit sleepy. But then I took it over, and what I did was not very sleepy, as you can hear, and I just kind of rocked out on this thing for the whole song. And it's kind of straight. There's not like a lot of variation, but until it gets to the second verse. And I always talk about one of my favorite things to think about is how simple or how complex do I want to be with my part. This song mostly is simple, but the second verse and the bridge are like insanely complicated. Just like a lot of ghost notes, which is where you just like really quietly hit the snare, just kind of flying through. So it's kind of pulling in and out of the pace, and you just heard like a really fast fill. So I'm like moving between sections with faster parts. So playing in and out of the speed, the complexity, just kind of making it all flow in a different way in each different section, but keeping it similar throughout. So this song is really fun, a very fun drum song. I can't wait to play it live for you. So we're into kind of a little bit of the more complicated second verse right now. And in a minute we'll get to the bridge, but I'm going to cut myself off because I want to hear, I sent this on to Benji, and Benji added a lot of guitar nuance to this that I'm really stoked about. So we will go ahead and pause me and bring in Benji boy. Benji!
Hola.
Hello.
How's it going?
How are you? Can people hear Benji? A couple weeks ago, they couldn't hear Benji. So everybody hear Benji out there just fine? Okay. Benji, tell us about what you added to this song.
Yeah, so I went in a very, as it was kind of a couple of the band names that were thrown out earlier direction with like Joy Division and The Cure. A lot of what they do is not so much based around having intricate, really intense, specific, like it's a very interesting balance where they don't worry about doing complicated parts, but what they would do is they would have like really specifically stripped back but intentional parts. And so that's kind of what I went for, was like, I think I sent in 3, maybe 4 guitar tracks, and one of them was just basically mirroring what the bass line would be doing. I just literally played one note and followed around the bass part, another part followed the lead line. My actual lead parts did like just very simple lines on top of other things. So I really took from that school of like 80s pop rock, 80s goth rock, 80s post-punk, all of those sorts of things, and mix those together. I also, honestly, when I was doing things, it's not anything really what I did, but I can't even remember the name of the artist, but the only song that was going through my head that like I didn't play any parts that sounded like it. I didn't do anything like it, but the one thing that went through my head was like the "I'll Stop the World and Melt with You" song.
Yes, that's what I was just trying to think of that.
That's really what like was in my head, is like, okay, what would a sister song to that was more of a, that song's like kind of got that like a very simple structure. What would something that was a little more like based in the world of like a goth rock thing or a post-punk thing, what would that sound like as like a sister song to it? And so that's where I really went with my guitar parts. I can't remember if I did anything else that I think is, I used super chorused out guitars. I used my hang on, it's right here.
Oh yeah, he's gonna show us.
I used my most 80s looking and 80s sounding guitar because it's perfect for it. So yeah, that's what I did.
That's awesome, dude. Your parts are awesome, and you're spot on. I was trying to think the whole time. I was like, this really has that feel of Stop the World and Melt With
Even though
You.
it's
I don't
not
know the name of that song.
anything, it does not sound anything like the rest of it.
Yeah, but it just
in any way,
it's the
but, like, that
exact
was
thing
the
for
one
the
thing
song.
that was in my head. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so then you sent it on to Ty, and Ty added a lot of bass. I think. I don't know. Let's hear what Ty added. So, Ty, hello.
Hello.
We are now playing the bass part. Tell us about when you got this song and what you added.
So, my job on this song was relatively easy because I was looking at the stems and everything, and I saw, Colin had a bass idea. And so I listened to it a bunch, and I had no problems with it. So I just kind of added my kind of touch to it and just went with it. Added a few things here and there, just to it's my touch. So that's all. But I really liked what you had going. So
I can't take the credit. I'd love to, but that was Fizz.
Was it Fizz?
Yeah, Fizz Biz wrote that bass line. He didn't have a bass guitar to record it, so he just did like a MIDI track.
I could tell. Yeah, I could tell it was. Yeah. Okay, well then, never mind, Colin. I never said anything nice about you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, it would be funny if it wasn't true.
Anyways, no, but I was really on board with the sort of post-punk vibe because. And especially because for me as a bass player, I a lot of times go to that kind of style of music or things similar to it to get inspiration for bass parts because like there is a lot of attention and detail when it comes to a lot of basses in that kind of realm. Like I know one pretty formative like post-punk kind of band for me was Savages. They're a modern day one, from from the UK, and that was when I was younger. I was like, okay, the guitar parts are really sparse, but they have a lot of character. The bass lines are like not stopping. Like the bass and drums are just like not stopping. And that's something I like. Yeah, so.
And they serve it's like the exact. I think what you're saying. It's like the exact genre that serves the song. Like it's not about being flowery. It's not about doing a lot. It's just like what does this song call for, and I'm just gonna do that much. And you nailed that, man. This is awesome. This bass part is just straightforward, but it does what it needs to. And also like we'll give a little bit of credit to Phil for the inspiration or whatever. Awesome. Well, great job. Love it. I'm gonna go ahead and click over to Nate. You sent it on to Nate. Nate mixed it. So, Nate, let's hear about this process. So, this is our section that we like to call.
Wait,
Yeah, go ahead.
So, something that Taimir didn't mention, which I think was very much worth mentioning, is he also. You remember like 3 or 4 episodes ago where he added this like sick ambient guitar, like reverby kind of thing?
Hilariously, just started playing behind you right now.
Oh, he did that at the very end of this song. Again, and I thought it was amazing, and it sounded perfect. And I put a bunch of like weird plugins on it, and it made it all like wonky, and it was awesome.
If you're listening right now, that's what you're hearing behind Nate talking. It's that ambient.
So, Taimir didn't mention it, but I wanted to make it. I wanted to, make sure that got in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
Hi.
So this is Nate. This is our mix engineer, the 5th member of Broke Royals, the 5th November. We're all born in November, if you didn't know.
I was born in November.
So we're going into our section with Nate, which we call Just the Mix Tip with Cool Dads. So Nate, tell us about your mix tip for this week.
So this is a 2-parter this week. Part 1, distort everything. And you will see that on a sticker that a bunch of hardcore and metal producers have. Yeah. Because, quite frankly, if you distort everything, with in some way or another, or saturate it with tapes or tubes or anything, it often sounds better. And and part 2 of the mix tip this week is to if a song is like really giving off a particular vibe or a stylistically, like obviously this week was very 80s synth pop type of stuff. And so if a song is giving off a particular vibe, like when you are mixing it, lean into it hard, because I find that a lot of times, like when bands are like, you know, making a song in a relatively certain style, they will often like stop themselves from like doing too much. Not to say that we did that here, but point being, like, you know, I think it's always going to do the song a favor by like really leaning into, you know, like, okay, this is a 80s-ish song. Let's make the drums sound kind of like a crunchy drum machine or something. Like, you know, it will never. And so
did part one, did mixtip 1 help mixtip 2?
Mixtip 1 definitely, for that exact reason, helped, because it
nothing.
No, I'm not a father.
In our little chat for the world at large, in our little chat, the boys are talking to Nate. Other than this, we're on a Skype call, so
yeah.
No, we're professionals.
We're so professional. Cool dads.
But so, where was I? Oh, yes. So I used distortion a lot on this mix in particular, because it helped me to, like, I could keep the drums sounding a bit more digital or like a drum machine without becoming too robotic or void of character or color. And it also helped me a lot. Like, there were a lot of, like, Phil sent me a bunch of like random vocal parts that were just kind of popping out all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was often in the context of like a lot of synths as well, and guitar and a moving bass line and cymbals. So using distortion on a handful of the vocals helped me to put it in a place that it could pop out but not be in the way. You know what I mean? So anyway,
you killed it.
My
this
two
is
mix
that
tips for this week.
All right, cool. Just the 2 mix tips with Cool Dad. So we're bringing the boys back. Welcome back, boys. We're going to play the brand new song for you in just 1 minute. First, Felipe, as I called him earlier, is going to be telling us a little bit about the inspiration of the song. So, Phil, let's hear about the inspiration of the song, and I'm going to go ahead and play it in the background, too, while you're chatting.
Absolutely. So, thank you, Colin. This song was a few, like, lyrics that I had fragmented around sort of a potpourri of things that ended up together and seemed to fit thematically. First off, Lizzie caught the Anna Karenina reference. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. I've always loved that line. I think it's meant to be facetious, as in like everyone is actually dysfunctional, and that's sort of what you kind of peel away over the course of 2,000 pages of Russian literature or whatever.
Phil just saved it for you. You now have it.
Yeah, just saved you the time.
Just listen to Goldbrick Champion instead.
Exactly. I just kind of flipped that as a jumping off point for this story. And then, the character is just kind of I don't know, I don't want to say a louse. He's kind of just a schlub. A schlub, you might say. And so I was looking for a good word for that. And I found the word gold brick, which the definition of a gold brick is a noun, a thing that looks valuable but is in fact worthless, which is the sassiest definition I've ever seen in my life. Like the dictionary is throwing shade on that word. So I loved it, and it fit perfectly, and it was really fun to shout over and over again in the chorus.
I love it. So this song is like very much a character, right? Like this is not, so You, Me, and World War III we've talked about was like really your experience. And I guess I'm just thinking about these two songs because now I've compared them in my own mind, even though they're very different. But so could you talk just a little bit about the difference of writing like from your perspective and writing from a character?
Sure. It's way more fun to write from a character, especially if it's only for a song. I know, like, sometimes authors will say, like, it's really hard to write, like, a bad character for a whole book, but, like, as a songwriter, you can just kind of dip in and dip out because it's not a permanent relationship, and so for 3.5 minutes, you can just write someone who's kind of all these bad things that you might have, like the laziest part of yourself, the procrastinator part of yourself, you can turn that up to 11, and you can grab things from conversations that you've had along the way. I think Phoebe Bridgers is really good at that. She just grabs lines and throws them in, and you're just like, oh. And then I know that she grabs them from relationships she has in life too. So that's someone who's been inspiring me lately. And this song was definitely not autobiographical, but more like taking a character and turning the big kind of lousy persona up to 11.
So what I love about that, you definitely did that, but you also lended a kind of empathy to them, because it's someone who's being real false bravado. I'm the Goldbrick champion, but then talking about being overwhelmed. You're peeling back the layer of your line at the beginning about the families being perfect or being happy, but then you get in depth with it and go, that it's in reality everybody's actually a little dysfunctional. You're doing all of that, and I think that's just really cool. So it's
somebody said the line in verse 2. I won't say who, but somebody did say that to me verbatim, and I thought, good gosh, man, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
So keep your ears peeled for that one, folks.
So
Are
speaking
you talking
of
about the therapy line?
no,
yeah, somebody said that to me in real life, and I thought, gee whiz, just good luck.
I also want to make a quick note. Just shout out to just gonna do a quick little shout out. I had this buried in the recesses of my brain, and then I was like, oh wait, yeah, absolutely. If I was ever, for those of you who don't know, I was homeschooled, so a lot of what I did was once I was done with work, it would be chores around the house. I just forgot, I hated doing it. I was the worst. I would slack off on it all the time, and I absolutely have heard the term goldbricking before.
Is that real?
Because of my own ability or inability to commit to doing a load of dishes. So
What a
that's
word,
awesome.
man.
That's hilarious. I only think of the word as a very literal gold brick, and I'm clearly not right in this. So
nah, I can be verbed.
gold bricking. So if you enjoyed that song, remember you can get 4 of our favorite unreleased songs for free in the link in the description. So check that out. We'll be back. We have 2 more episodes this season, and then we're going to be back. We're deciding the exact date, but probably in about a month with season 2. So keep an eye out for that. We're about to play Goldbrick Champion one more time for you. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this after, let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And see you all next week. And now is when I play the song.
Give us a 3, 2, 1.
Nah.
Every happy family is alike. We keep our demons in the basement. We smile nice, always get the lock replaced. When things get a little bit out of hand, if you're overwhelmed, I would understand. I would understand. I'm the Goldbrick Champion. Mid-Atlantic #1. I'm the Goldbrick Champion. Oh, I'm #1. Where is all of this therapy heading? Do we get to stop after the wedding? What do you want me to say? Can we afford this okay? One thing at a time. I can only handle one thing at a time. One thing